Hello and welcome to Gabe's Games. Thank you so much for coming to see me play some more Marvel Avengers beta today. Let's play some more as the Hulk. Let's get to it. Upon first impressions, it looks really cool to play as the Hulk. He's actually really cool. But I also find that his light attacks don't really feel that smooth, so you feel like he's a bit strange to actually just hit with his light attacks. His heavy attack though, his triangle, is awesome.
They've got guards all over the place. This might be a bad idea.
Sweet. This might be a little bit difficult because we're actually playing on brutal difficulty, so we'll see how we go. Give this our best shot. I also found that I couldn't actually access the beta a lot of the time that it was available. For some reason, it just dropped out, so this is why it's coming out so late.
Everything's new.
Throwing rocks is your saving grace. It's the thing that keeps the Hulk alive on this difficulty. You just throw rocks all the time, until you can upgrade him, I reckon. That's a really good plan. So Kamala's actually trying to find a way to get inside through vents while we're out here fighting AIM. Man using rage attack actually really feels cool, I've got to say. In terms of the Hulk's abilities and the things he can do, when you use rage, it feels pretty cool. Man, those shield guys in this game are actually the hardest enemies there. It's just really difficult to take out the guys with the shields. So when in doubt, just spam rock throw, because that'll work for me. Oof, they actually do so much damage if they hit. It's huge.
Big group of guys headed for the elevator.
Not my bad, guys. I'm having enough fun with these guys out here. Far out. I just don't want to get cornered by these guys. So far, my strategy involves dodge, throw some rocks, and rinse and repeat. Mixed with the occasional heroic ability when I can find it. Jesus, they're just keeping teleporting over here. That last guy with the shield is so close to taking him down. Also, he's power level 16, we're like nothing right now. I feel like I'm going to be able to play this game on Brutal a lot easier once I can actually be responsible for just leveling up my own gear and my own superhero, to the point that they're really powerful. So far so good! Yes, that guy's taken out now! Okay, time to focus on the rest. Damn, their teleporting abilities. Also, they hit you just a little bit and your health goes down straight away. Now is not the time to get greedy. We've taken out most of them, there's a few left, but I think I'm still going to play this reasonably cautious. Plus, if they shoot me one or two more times, I'm dead. Yes! That actually feels really cool. Using Hulk's actual heroic abilities are not bad. It still for some reason doesn't feel as smooth as I would like it to. It actually reminds me very much of the Incredible Hulk PS2 game that came out, but for some reason that Hulk still moved a little bit smoother and there's something slightly jarring about playing as Hulk, but it's also just really fun. Hell, I get to play as an Avenger, and I've wanted to do that for a long time. This is very cool. Also, I cannot believe that this beta was free. Thank you so much, Marvel, Square Enix, and Crystal Dynamics. This is awesome. Hulk smash! I'm gonna say something really weird. I feel like playing as this Hulk, he's a little bit shorter than I imagined. For some reason, he makes me think of a really small bodybuilder, which is really strange. And maybe I'm just being weird, but still fun to play. I've wanted to play as the Hulk for years, and I'm so glad I finally get to play as an Avenger, so that's awesome. That triangle attack is awesome! Now that feels so perfectly the Hulk when he's just smashing things like that. Ah, yes! However, I'm not getting wrecked. I gotta run. I hope that Hulk actually has enough health regen. And I remember reading somewhere that apparently the Hulk and Thanos have similar levels of health regeneration. Ah, damn, that was awesome. Yeah, I remember reading about that. It could have been some false article or something. But yeah, I remember reading that Hulk and Thanos have similar levels of health regen. I think I got the timing wrong for this. Oh man, sweet, more enemies. This time they're upstairs, okay. I've actually really been keen to play this beta for a while, and it's a shame I only managed to do a little bit of it when I had the opportunity to. So, a lot of the gameplay you see is just what I managed to do when the beta was working. So I'm so glad I finally got to play this. And if you waited until the last day to play this beta, I remember the last 2 hours when the beta was supposed to be available, Square Enix servers weren't working, so I'm so glad I managed to record this before that happened. Because I think it was just overloaded due to the amount of people who wanted to play this. Damn, that feels cool. I really like that. That actually feels very, very good. I wonder if this actually properly represents how powerful Hulk is. I feel like he can still do more damage than this. He is the strongest Avenger. And from what I'm seeing of the Hulk's damage here, it looks like they pretty accurately translated the Hulk's abilities here. But man is easily defeated. But that is also because this is on brutal difficulty. That did feel pretty cool. I'm still new to the Hulk. I don't feel like he's going to be my favorite to play as. He feels a little clunky for me, but that's just me. Oh man, but that thunderclap is actually so well done. That's directly translated from the Incredible Hulk PS2 game. That is so good. Haha, this is a powerful enemy. I've got you. I found my favorite attack. Triangle! Holy smoke. Okay, that makes that a lot more difficult and a lot more dangerous. Also, I'm really curious. Does anybody else think that Hulk is almost always represented as underpowered in translations of film and game? Because he's supposed to be unbeatable, like incredible. He's literally the strongest Avenger, and I think the whole point of the Hulk was that he's always too powerful. In fact, Thanos is actually kind of scared of the Hulk. So I'm really concerned that they always make him underpowered. Like, I remember reading a comic once, and it was like the one time that the Hulk was defeated was by these robots who were incredibly flexible, who could kind of like piece themselves back together. And I think what I thought about the Hulk then was that this guy never loses. And I feel like he loses way too often. Anyway, just a random thought from me, but I feel like in his representation a lot, he's just too easily beaten. And I really like the Avengers films, and I love Infinity War and Endgame, but the one thing which still weirds my brain out is how easily the Hulk is taken out there. Anyway, cool. Currently our Hulk is level 2 with the power level of 7. I'm not too sure how we can actually equip abilities and equipment to the Hulk, like he's already the Hulk. Actually, one thing I do remember reading about how Thanos actually took out the Hulk was that Thanos kind of used like martial art tactics on the Hulk, and that's how he took him out, which I can understand and I'll buy to a degree, but I just remember reading and thinking that Thanos actually fears the Hulk quite a bit because he doesn't like to confront him. So it was weird anyway. Look at all of our upgrades that we can get. I don't think I'm really going to be upgrading the Hulk much. I feel like Iron Man is going to be my jam. Also, where are we supposed to go? Like, I thought this was a lift. Is this not a lift? Oh, maybe we need to break down the thing in front of us. Okay. Let the wrath of the Hulk be upon you. Okay, time to enter, find Olympia, and distract the guards for Kamala. Let's get through this. Smash! Gee, that feels cool. Ooh, are they experimenting with gamma radiation to try and create more Hulks? That sounds bad, right? Also, I've got another superhero ability. I'll use that at some point. Woo, we have some more bad guys who have teleported in. Okay, let's take them out. I have to admit, I am going to spam that triangle attack a lot. That is his most effective attack. Man, those guys with the staff are actually really hard. And they pack a punch too. When they hit you, they actually take out a lot of health. Look at him, he's not even on half health. Man, either these enemies are incredibly overpowered on brutal difficulty, or I feel like the Hulk is almost underpowered in his attacks here, because that was like a good Hulk smash, and that guy isn't even damaged. More! Yes! That actually did feel pretty cool. Ah, man, can't wait to level up my Hulk so he's a bit more powerful than this. I really want to use like a leveling up system which enables you to actually level up your generic power level of your hero so that their attacks are more powerful, as opposed to having variations of different moves make them more powerful. And I mean, I suppose the gear that you get sort of does that. It makes your attacks more powerful and makes you more powerful, but I still feel like something a little different in my mind would be really cool. This works, but for some reason I'm thinking of like just leveling up level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then your basic attack does like twice more damage or something. Something I'd like at least. I still think of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers and The Return of the King as one of the best leveling up systems I've ever seen. Because as you leveled up, you could also increase the damage of your swift attack and your other attacks, and it just made you more powerful as time went by. You can increase your arrow damage, you can increase your hold down triangle and do special move attack. Good on you, Kamala, you got all the sneaky skills. Yeah, I just think that I really like a leveling up system where basically you can increase your generic damage, as opposed to just learning new moves. Increase your generic damage and also learn the new moves. But this works really well. And I have to admit, using Thunderclap every time just brings me back, what, 10, 11, however many years, to the Incredible Hulk on the PS2. Sweet, time to take him out. I'm going to use all of my finishing moves. Oh man, I have to admit, the one thing that this game has over the Incredible Hulk PS2 game is that the amount of damage that you can cause as the Hulk, the amount of things that you can destroy is great. It feels like you can cause much more damage to the interior of buildings. It is just awesome. Oh man, so satisfying every time. Out of Hulk's gameplay, using finishing moves is pretty dope. It feels great.
There's a path up through the research lab. You have to bust through the
Nice try!
This monster isn't you, Doctor. He wouldn't want this research destroyed. He needs it.
Ha! That's so weird. Tarleton must be the guy who was actually at the beginning saying, "It's extraordinary!" Co-founder of AVE. The head of the company. The evil guy who's trying to tame superpowers and use them in his own way. We've got to stop him. Well, they opened the door for me there, so that was useless, but actually pretty hilarious and satisfying. Just get myself a little bit lost. I don't really know where I'm supposed to go. This music does make you feel pretty epic though, I'm not gonna lie. This music is epic. Got that, guys, it was coming down. That was a great hit. Oh man, okay. Let's get up there. I'm gonna take you all out. You're all going down. Ah, damn. Let me replace that earlier confidence with, shite. It's that level 16 guy who has a lot of health and a whole bunch of dangerous attacks. Okay, cool. A little bit more health now. So the green bar is our rage bar and the white bar is our health bar. We may have this more sorted now. They were giving us a bit of trouble a few seconds ago, but I think we're right now. Just gotta take this one guy out, 1v1. So glad I dodged that. Yeah, he's a little bit tricky. You gotta figure out how to attack him, and sometimes he blocks, and yeah, in general, just vary it up with these guys. Yes, I think we might have it now. We got him!
I can help you.
Yeah, right.
When you say help, do you mean hinder? Because they sound so similar. Oh damn, it's pretty cool to do this as the Hulk. I'm having a great time smashing up everything. Oh man, and jumping from platform to platform feels really good. I'm really curious to see what it would be like to be a superhero in a city. Kind of like in the way that Batman Arkham City and Arkham Knight and all of those Arkham games do, where you just basically glide as Batman through the actual cities. I want to see what it would be like to traverse that as Iron Man or even Hulk. Also, that's a Gamma Orb behind us. I swear I remember those Gamma Orbs from the very first Hulk film, which I remember, which came out with Eric Bana. Not the very first Hulk film in existence, but the one with Eric Bana, where the Hulk like grabs that Gamma Orb and throws it. Oh, we've destroyed the Gamma Orb now. But yeah, I remember that. It was the best. That Hulk film had a whole bunch of cool moments.
Let me help you, Bruce. It isn't too late.
Again, when you say help, do you mean hinder? Because they sound so similar. Let me hinder you, Bruce. Allow me to hinder you, please. I mean help. Help's what I mean. I want to help you, Bruce. Hinder. Help. Anybody with a name like Tarleton sounds like a bad guy. Also, why are there so many Bruces in superhero movies? Every single superhero's name is Bruce. Maybe not every, that's an exaggeration. But Bruce Banner, Bruce Wayne, I can't think of other Bruces at the moment, but I feel like it's a popular superhero name. To the point that if I'm watching a superhero movie, I've almost heard somebody say Bruce, like, in a meaningful way so many times that it's just embedded in my memory. Yes, we took it out. Okay, that makes it a lot easier for us now. Sweet, some nifty dodging skills there. I feel like it's really weird that as the Hulk I have to dodge a lot to make sure that I don't get killed. But it makes sense on hard difficulty or brutal difficulty. Jesus, they're hitting me and it's taking out damage. Woof, 2v1, alright, here we go. This is going to be a little bit tricky, I've got to admit. These enemies are not the easiest enemies, so I'm going to have to run around and figure out my best way I can possibly take them out. Because I just feel like if I slip up, they'll kill me. I don't want to die. I want to see if I can do this without dying, because that'd be really cool. So, let's give this our best shot. Oh yes, with one of them down, that makes everything so much easier. Okay, now it's just 1v1. But even 1v1, these guys are really hard. That was close, that was really close. Alright, let's just make sure that we can get around them and keep on hitting them. See what we can do. I cannot see you, therefore you cannot see me, therefore we are invisible. Have you guys seen that video of that spider basically just hiding underneath some sand and he covers himself and he's like, I cannot see you, therefore you cannot see me, but his legs are like sticking out? It's hilarious. That was nicely timed. Alright, we're so much closer to taking this guy out. Just a little bit more and our health nearly full now, so come on, let's take him out.
I'm in something called a Genesis lab? What is this?
It's a place called a Genesis lab. I don't know either, Kamala. It's alright. She must feel really cool and almost out of her depth being thrown into the Avengers world.
They were keeping the Inhumans in here. What happened? This is where they hurt them? Hulk. I need you to destroy this lab. Smash!
Yes, madam. Let's do it.
You saw the truth, Banner. You were the only one. We're fixing the damage
Just pausing real quick to upgrade all of my stats as much as I possibly can. Yeah, we definitely did say that the Avengers are dangerous, but we're also good. Also, the only thing that I can actually really say I like playing as the Hulk in terms of his attacks is his triangle attack, and that's great, but it doesn't work at all times, so I need to find something else. Let me upgrade something. Maybe that's shoulder bash. Battering ram, there, that's the word. Because a lot of his attacks feel good, but they don't connect as smoothly, and his square attacks feel a bit disjointed, and it's only when he actually regularly spams his triangle that it works. So I gotta find something else that makes me feel like I can really play as him. And it's kind of like that moment in Mortal Kombat where you figure out how to play as Scorpion and or Sub-Zero, and you're like, oh, it makes sense. Except I haven't had that with the Hulk yet. It just doesn't make sense to me at all yet, except for occasional attacks. And speaking of Mortal Kombat, I used to play Mortal Kombat A Deadly Alliance on the PS2. That game was the best. Always finished it as Scorpion and or Sub-Zero, and I'd take on that huge monster at the end. Was it Grond? I honestly can't remember. It's been too many years since I played that game. I still have it. I just haven't played it in a while. This makes me want to go back and play that game. That game was awesome. New Mortal Kombat's are pretty good too. But let's get back to some more The Hulk.
Avengers did what we did all those years ago.
You see, that shoulder bash makes so much more sense. Oh, it's good. I feel like I can run and hit something immediately. That's much better.
Your fate. They want the cure.
He's lying. He's not saving anyone.
I wish it didn't have to come to this.
Yes, yes, yes. Monologue. We got a monologuing. We got a thunderclap. Okay, here we go. I bet I can use this at some point. It's interesting comparing the combat in this game to other games. In some of the better combat systems in games I've played, for example, Lord of the Rings War in the North, the immediate square and triangle attacks in that game felt really good. Like, the combat was good without you needing to upgrade it in order to make it feel good. It was satisfying from the moment you pressed square and triangle. With this, I feel like I needed to actually upgrade Hulk to actually feel good playing as him. It's interesting to feel that the combat in this game actually becomes good and or better once you've upgraded your character. The basic mechanics for the Hulk, for me at least, I find are not as smooth. But once you've activated his actual shoulder slam, that works so much more. It's like I finally clicked in that moment when I'm playing Mortal Kombat and I figured out how to play Sub-Zero and or Scorpion. Except that I had to upgrade the Hulk in order to figure out how to actually play as him. It just makes sense now. That robot wasn't too hard to take out.
Both of you.
Yeah, and in other games, like, the basic mechanics of the game feel good without you needing to upgrade the character to feel good as playing it. But, once you've upgraded the Hulk, it feels alright. Like, let me just spam that shoulder charge. It feels so good once I know that I have something that can hit and stun and actually do damage that I can use again and again. Oh yeah, that's awesome. And the square attack sort of does that, but you get hit way too often doing the square attack because it's too slow. The triangle attack is great, but it's too slow. This attack is much better. Meaning the shoulder bash. That being said, if you get this triangle attack done really well, it actually feels so good, and it takes out so many different enemies at once. It's awesome. Whew! Are my fists on fire, or am I imagining things? Thunderclap! Oh man, I'm starting to actually understand how to play as the Hulk now. Now that I have that a little bit more down pat, this feels much better. Still, I feel like his basic attack is a little clunky, but that's just my preference. I might play some other character. Damn, we're being attacked by another one of those giant robots. Let's take him out. Okay, here we go. I'm still a little bit concerned about being overwhelmed. At least now there's less enemies than there was before, so I won't be too overwhelmed, but I still don't want to be ganged up on by him and all his friends. And him just being like, look at all my friends. And I'm like, fight your own battles, buddy. Oh man. Yeah, alright. We should be able to do this. Just take out that giant robot and all of his buddies. On the hardest difficulty in the game, with my first time playing it. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be alright. Oh man, that shoulder slam is actually such a saving grace. It just works every single time. It covers distance really quickly, it's super fast, it's everything I wanted. Like that. He doesn't actually do that much damage, he just has a lot of health. Which we are steadily shoulder bashing away. Wish I could upgrade my maximum health too. Oh, that is actually so sick! That is so cool! I didn't realize the Hulk could do that. That's dope!
If you can't stop the Hulk, then I will. I have to.
Yeah, that actually feels very cool. Very in line with the Hulk. Then I have to stop the Hulk. Yes, that's right.
No! Get out of there! Run!
Whoa, that's so cool. We're gonna run away as everything explodes. I'm not gonna lie, this feels very, very cool. Awesome.
Hulk? Hulk!
Alright, cool. So we're finally playing as Kamala.
No way. The archive. This has to be the way in. Hulk, I think I found Mr. Stark's archive. I'm gonna try to get it open, okay? Need to get power to the doors. Looks like there's a generator over there.
Alright, so we know our mission now. You go for it, Kamala, you do it. I've seen combat of her on the internet, and I'm really curious to actually feel what she's like to play as, because she didn't look like she was the best Avenger to play as. But I'm curious to see what she actually feels like to play.
Get on it, Kamala.
It's really cool to actually be able to swing and grab onto ledges in this game. She reminds me of Elastigirl, and or the stretchy guy from Fantastic Four. Reed Richards. What's the actual character's name? Forget the actual character, as in the superhero. Mr. Fantastic. I cannot believe that he's just called Mr. Fantastic. Okay, there you go. Mr. Fantastic. Sweet, first generator. There's a couple more to go, and then we'll have the power on.
Uh-oh.
Okay, wow. So when I saw combat of Kamala, I didn't actually think she looked like the most amazing Avenger to play. But when you actually play as her, it's surprisingly smooth. It feels great. She hits really well, and it feels like she's a really powerful character. I actually prefer playing her to playing the Hulk. She feels better. That was actually pretty cool. Damn it, those shield guys. I hate those shield guys. Okay, what are we gonna do? Vault over them and hit it. And or I can just try use my superpower real quick, but that didn't really work. I missed it. So gonna have to vault over and hit him. Yes, heavy attack worked. Okay, cool. So I just gotta remember that heavy attacks actually destroy those shields. Yes! Okay, now to take him out. Oh, whoa! So you can actually disarm the shield by hitting them at a particular point with your, like, ranged attack.
Generators online. Please activate main systems.
Guess I've got to keep flipping switches to get the power on.
That actually felt really good. I'm very impressed with how Kamala feels to play, and her personality is dope, and I just really, really like playing as Kamala. I'm actually a fan of playing as Kamala in comparison to playing as the Hulk.
Stop messing around, Kamala. Time to flip some switches.
That felt pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. Also, look at this chest. Well, what's in it? Open the chest. Don't stab the heart. Because the Dutchman will always need a captain. Ah, that movie will always be embedded in my brain. Round 2, fight! Okay, more of the same, just gonna make sure that I hit them. If they're shield guys, take out their shields. And in general, do not die. Pro tip for myself here, do not die. Okay, cool. Just gotta keep on dodging. Take these guys out of here. Oh, they got the teleporter dudes. As long as the teleporter dudes don't go everywhere, I should be right. But let me see if I can take them out real quick. Again, Kamala actually feels really good to play. She's smooth, and when she hits, it feels fantastic. Okay, that's dope. I've got to admit, I'm really impressed with this section of the game so far. Everything that Kamala has done has impressed me. And running away as the Hulk was actually really, really cool. And again, this is free. I cannot believe this is free. Thank you so much, Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics, and Marvel. Again, this is just awesome.
Please activate secondary systems.
Ooh, looks like we can access some gear. Okay, let me have a look. Sweet. I like accessing gear and kind of leveling up my character, and in a game that I'm really invested in, it's really fun to just keep on leveling up. But until I'm invested in the game, I always find the leveling up mechanics of it to be the least interesting part of the game. I play the game, to get involved in the characters and what's happening, and I learn how to level up when I'm interested. Using it as like the first thing that you have to do in a game is usually just a bit off-putting. Not that this is, but just something I find in games. So for games that I'm really invested in, I love leveling up my character, right now, I'm the least invested I could be in this game yet, as it's not really hooked me personally yet. It will be at some point, and I'm imagining it's going to give me a good vibe when I start playing it for real. But until it's hooked me, I'm not as interested in leveling up.
Switch. Need to see what's in that archive.
I think it's always the grind and the leveling up mechanics in a game which are the least fun aspects of the game until you realize there's a reason and or an investment to level up for. Oh, okay, cool. So we've got a whole bunch of enemies. I feel like this is setting us up to use a superpower. But I don't want to actually just use it in case I need it later. No, this is directly for the superpower. Okay, let's use it. Not bad. That feels really cool. I feel like a giant Ant-Man, except I'm Kamala, or Miss Marvel. Oh yes, the fact that the moving mechanics still work the same as they did before, and everything is the same, you're just giant, is good. Obviously, I just got a little bit hit there, but anyway. Last bad guy is one of those real bad guys that I struggle with against Hulk. Here we go. What? Man! That's the best way to take him out. Oh goodness. Death by ledge.
That door should open now. Please be here, Jarvis. Maybe he's hiding somewhere in this super cool pile of Avengers stuff.
You know what? I actually feel like Kamala at this point. It's really good to see the fandom catered to in this way, because by making Kamala the protagonist a little bit, we relate to her really well. Really cool, more gear. I have to admit, I just want to spend a long time wandering through this place, finding all of the gear and seeing what's around me.
Why display pyrite when you can afford the real thing? I should keep looking.
What stuff do I find next? Am I looking for Jarvis? Like, what are we looking for?
The Mark I. Did he plan to come back for all this someday?
I'm curious if that's a legit Mark I from the films, or if it's something more comics and or they just made a Mark I. Very cool, there's probably even more gear in this. And I love the fact that the shield logo is on everything, it just makes it feel really authentic.
Cap's first shield. This was on display at A-Day.
Oh, very cool! The one used in World War II. I didn't expect myself to actually dig the concept of A-Day, but I actually really am. I'm starting to think of it as a really cool thing in my mind, and in my memory of, like, the Avengers and their history. There's the film Avengers, and then there's A-Day in this game and in this universe.
With promising results. The vitality siphon effect promises excellent outcomes for biological combatants, though its use with synthoids is still limited. Dr. Rappaccini is focused primarily on applications of gamma radiation to live subjects, so we've been operating a bit off the books in our little corner in Building C. My hope is that she will recognize the success of our final result and overlook the unfortunate accidents in tests 1 through 16. Lab casualties and equipment damage aside, I believe this project can be declared a complete success.
Interesting! So that's like the audio recordings in The Last of Us. How you could just play them and listen to all of the info. Fascinating.
Open a secret passageway, do you?
That'd be pretty dope if it did. But this isn't Uncharted. I am, however, getting Tomb Raider vibes from when Lara Croft's ship is originally destroyed. And when she comes back to it later, it's all wrecked. I can have a look at these comics, see what that means. So they're just collectibles that you can pick up in the game. Cool. More supplies.
What's over here?
Ooh, yes, I wonder.
Looking sharp, guys.
She's like, what's a hard drive from 1988 look like?
Way. Jarvis. Now to find Hulk and get out of here.
What you got there, Cricket?
Oh snap, okay, that's Abomination. Whew.
Why don't you let me have that?
I don't think so.
Disappointing.
Abomination went for it. I wouldn't actually have minded seeing Kamala take on Abomination, but this is better.
You're not looking well. All units, find the girl and stay out of my way.
Alright, I think I'll finish this video here. Thank you so much for coming to see some more of Gabe's Games today, and if you'd like to see me continue the series, please like and subscribe. Next is Hulk and Abomination fighting on brutal difficulty.